Hey everybody, it's Tuesday. Ed is still sick, so we're still delaying the meep. At this point, it's going to be the end of the crowdfunding campaign, kind of, sort of, because that video is going to be delayed too. Doing a show the night before the campaign ends kind of sucks, but yes, boss fight is still going. We're back up over 20,000 after somebody dropped a large pledge, so that's exciting. And it's still going. I can only push it so far. I don't know what else to do. The Steam sale kind of wiped everybody out, but I do want to keep trying. I do want to keep going on this campaign. So support Boss Fight like a good bra, especially if you appreciate the analysis which is to follow, because there's been drama. There's been drama, and this came up on was it Twitch? No, it was the live stream. I think either Thursday or Friday last week, somebody asked me, what do I think about Halle Bailey being cast as Ariel from The Little Mermaid, because she's not a redhead. She's a black woman, woman, 19. I don't know which word to use. But I said, I really don't care. I mean, the original movie's always going to be there. Jodie Benson, who voiced Ariel the first time, wasn't a redhead either. That's the magic of cartoons. But people have been getting really mad about it. And I've sat with my own opinions on this, because when they cast Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, it just killed me. Worse, in the last movie, they even had her with blonde hair. Like, that just, she ain't Russian and she ain't a redhead. That just killed me. Wally West, not anymore. Annie, no. There's all these memes out there about, the number of redheaded characters, like classic redheaded characters who have been replaced by black people. Jimmy Olsen's another one, but I love Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl. I like him. And that's the problem. I end up liking a lot of these characters. I didn't see Annie. I didn't feel the need to. It just seemed like a very, very long Jay-Z sample to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the movie was good, but I didn't care to see it. I was never really big on the music from Annie. It was all very shrill. Kids singing like kids instead of singing properly. Like, it's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. It's like Carol Channing before, her contralto testicles dropped. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Carol Channing's awesome. Was awesome. Is awesome. People who do music, they're like eternal, right? It's always is, because their work moves on. But the thing about Ariel, and finally I'm like, why doesn't this bother me more? Because it bothered me not at all. I was just like, whatever, moving on. And I think part of it is that Black Widow broke me. Also, they cast Will Smith as the genie from Aladdin. Now, I think people had less of an issue with that because for obvious reasons, right? Like, Robin Williams isn't around anymore. But I realized it was a few things. One, Black Widow killed me. There was no reason to have her be blonde in Endgame. That just pissed me off. But she was the one that made me realize, even when a character who's a redhead in a comic book is a redhead in a movie, same with Kristen Dunst in the original Spider-Man movies, she's not really a ginger. They never cast an actual ginger. They cast a blonde and they put her in a red wig. Actually, I don't think Scarlett Johansson is naturally blonde. Maybe she is. I don't know. But, it's not ever actually a ginger. It's always a bottle job. And that made me realize, like, man, since it's not gonna be a ginger kid, and I'd prefer that, especially, I like some characters, they're very much redheads, right? Like, even sometimes when it's a bottle red, like Tori Amos and Gillian Anderson, they're adopted members of the ginger tribe, okay? Like, they're not ginger, but they pull it off so well, right? I'm kidding, but you know what I mean. And it made me realize, like, man, if they're not gonna hire a ginger, I'm actually okay with it being a person of color, because why not? But Ariel's more than that, because we're not talking about a character from a comic book or a video game that is just, it's just a character. They don't have to sing. Ariel, she is defined by her voice. She is defined by her voice. That is the thing that makes her her. That's why Ursula wants to steal her voice. It's not as much her hair color. You know, the hair color was just, it looks pretty. The classical images of mermaids tend to be redheads. And, you know, she's fiery and spirited and rebellious. And so they make her a redhead because we share many stereotypes with Black women. But there, you know, that ha 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 ha, you know, that thing you did if you were a little girl when that movie came out, you did it. You walked around when nobody was home, just belting Part of Your World. You did it because we all did it. Even people who are totally not girly girls like me, The Little Mermaid hooked me. Because it was such a, like, the original animation of The Little Mermaid traumatized me as a child because she dies at the end. Spoiler. You know, that's how the original fairy tale ends. So the fact they changed it and made it like a triumphant thing about, you know, was King, Daughters of Triton, that's his name. See, I remember that. Great father who loved us and named us well, you know, and they do that whole musical number and then she's not there. But the singing is a central part of Ariel. More important than her hair color, I would claim. They can still put Halle Bailey, I keep saying Halle Bailey, in a red wig if they are so inclined. That's no problem. Which would be kind of cool looking. But it's that voice. And here's a radical idea. Maybe she really was just the best person that auditioned. Maybe she actually did sing the best. And I looked up because I was just very, very tangentially familiar with Chloe and Halle. When I looked up, like I watched one of their videos a while ago and I'm like, oh my, these girls are way too young for me to be watching this. Because I roll it around, did like tight cheetah print and all that stuff. And I mean, her sister Chloe's the better R&B singer, and she's kind of thick, which is cool. But she's the better R&B singer. But Halle, when you actually hear her sing, she's kind of like the Michelle Williams of Destiny, like to Destiny's Child. You know, Michelle just gets her moments, and then that's it. Beyonce takes back over. But she has a very clear tone, and it works. And she's just got this. She's got the Ariel spunkiness, like the kind of wide-eyed innocence. Her sister, no innocence there, man. Both those girls have some moves, but Chloe freaking sells it. I had to turn some of them off because, again, they are just way too young. But, you know, Halle's got the like midriff appropriate for like the seashell bra mermaid outfit. Though if they do that in this day and age, I will be amazed. But like, gee, maybe she just killed it. Maybe of the people they saw, she had the best combination of acting and singing abilities. I can see her pulling off those songs because she's got a really clear, classic tone to her voice, and she can sing. She's got a great range. Like I said, she doesn't have the R&B artistry that her sister does, but you don't need too much R&B in The Little Mermaid is too much. And that brings to the next thing that I realized, gee, why didn't I see this from the beginning? Casting, and I'm assuming if Ariel is Black, then all of her sisters and her father are also going to be Black. And that kind of solves the problem that got the original animation, which is a classic. I mean, it brought Disney feature animation back from near extinction. It is a singular film in that regard. It saved Disney feature. So it's an important part of history because of that. But that original movie got accused of racism. when it came out because of Sebastian the Crab. And people read way too much into it because, you know, places like Cracked and BuzzFeed don't understand Calypso. But Sebastian being Jamaican got the movie accused of racism, not inclusion, because they didn't have to do that back in the day, but racism. They claimed it catered to stereotypes and things like that. And the thing is, most people were like, they're just like, under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's like, everybody's just like, and that's the power of music, right? Like, people like, no, it's catchy. I like the beat. It's that Chris Rock thing, right? Like, why totally self-assured women dance and sing along to like misogynist gangster rap lyrics. It's like Chris Rock's always like, you talking about me? And like, that's how it's true. Like, it's true. If it's a good beat, you just sing along to the most horrid shit. Like, I love my Beanie Man. I love my Elephant Man. And I know some of those lyrics are bad, but damn, it's a good hook, right? Like, that's the thing. And so, you know, I think that's how most people took it. But Sebastian and that whole number, that whole Calypso number is, let's face it, gonna seem much less out of place if all of the mer people, the under the sea folk, are black. It's gonna solve a major problem. So I'm like, I am giving Halle Bailey an official ginger. Halle Bailey is now an official ginger, says me, because everybody's gonna call her Halle Berry by mistake. I did it. Like, man, if you wanted your daughter to be famous, why'd you give her that name, Mom? Like, come on. Chloe Bailey just rolls off the tongue. But Halle Bailey, she's going to have to work to get name recognition, right? Like, too many people are going to think Halle Berry. At first, I even went, what? Halle Berry is... Oh, no! A different Halle. But the girl seems like she's got a shot at doing it justice. And that's all I care about. Because, man, when I saw Beauty and the Beast, Emma Watson, Hermione, she looked the part. She looked great. But she couldn't quite pull it off vocally. And it took me out of the movie. That has been the issue with a lot of these movie musicals that cast very famous people in the main parts. If they can't bring it vocally, Russell Crowe in Les Mis, you know, performing in a rock band doesn't give you the chops to sing a well-known baritone part, especially when you're not a baritone. The first, like, when they started in To Look Down at the beginning of that movie, I thought I was good. I thought I wasn't gonna make it. Like, I really didn't think I was gonna make it. I felt that way too about the first 10 minutes of Frozen as well, because it was just the Little Mermaid on ice. Like, I don't even remember the beginning of Frozen because it was basically Fathoms Below. Like, shot for shot, just with ice instead of water. But then it got better. Now, with Halle Bailey as Ariel, it won't have to get better. She can sing. And in a musical, the most important thing is that the lead actress with one of the more well-known songs in Disney canon, because it's just such earworm, because Jodie Benson did such a fantastic job with it the first time around, you got to be able to sing. Like, you just got to be able to sing. That's more important than being a redhead. That's more important than anything. You have to be able to sing. Because then what else does she have to do? She has to look happy, look sad, and comb her hair with a fork. Okay? There isn't a ton of acting range that's necessary, but girl gotta be able to sing. And I think in the whole debate about her not being a redhead. This isn't like these other characters who didn't have to sing and dance. We can't all be Tom Holland, okay? But you know, this particular role calls for specific skills. And it is true the defining characteristic of Ariel isn't her hair, it's her voice. And so the voice has to come first, the performance has to come first. So I'm pulling for her. I might actually see this one because it's a new idea. That and The Little Mermaid, not Little Mermaid, Lion King. I'm interested in Lion King, but I'm going to have a problem with that one because it isn't Nathan Lane and Ernie Sabella as Timon and Pumbaa. And the clips I've seen, it's just not Nathan Lane. And nobody can be Nathan Lane but Nathan Lane. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to handle John Oliver as Zazu either. But I'll see it for Beyonce as Nala because I want to hear her belt Shadowlands. Because it's all about the music. Do you think Elton John is still going to play himself? Kidding. I'm kidding. But if people who are like, what is this song? It was a second act ballad that they added to the Lion King musical because Nala doesn't have a song. And they need to give Nala a song because she's the female lead, the prima donna. So she has to have a song. So that's my take on it. Hopefully it made you think because my reaction surprised me too. And now I realize why. So if you like this sort of insightful and goofy and screwing around commentary, but in a smart way, support Boss Fight like a good bra. We're in the home stretch. I can stop shilling this soon and go back to shilling Patreon. And oh God, I can't wait. That's less high pressure. Thanks for watching.